Found a strange game on the internet about Pokemon but didn't know how to play? Or maybe you got lost watching a whole different video about a different game and somehow you found this. Well, don't worry, you're not alone. I too somehow stumbled upon this gem of a fan game around a year ago, and I needed to share more about it and teach you guys the ropes. So let's just get right into it. My name is crimsonnoble, and if you like this type of video, be sure to let me know down below so I can make more of this kind of stuff. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's get right into it. First, you want to find a room and wait for it to start. And once the game starts, you're stuck here waiting in a void. Don't worry about the void. You'll only be here 5 minutes max, then the game will throw you in, even if nobody else loads in. Once you're in the game, you might be confused on the GUI, but don't worry, it's not as bad as it looks. So at the top of your screen, you have the stage preview. This shows what you're up against next, or if you're getting an item stage, also called a carousel. We'll explain more about the items later. Next, we have your health. Every time you lose a battle, you'll lose a little bit of this, and if it hits 0, I'm sure you know, you lose. Pretty simple. Next, your money. Money is gained every round, no matter if you win or lose, and it's what you use to purchase and upgrade your team. You can get even more money every turn by winning, with more gold being added based on how far on a win streak you are. So you want to make sure you're as on top of your game as you can be. You can also gain even more on top of that by saving in 10s up to 50. So basically every 10 gold, you're getting a buff to your money every turn. This makes saving money when you can a great idea, especially in the early game to get the best benefits for your team. Now, how do you use this money? That brings us to the shop. The shop changes each round unless you hit this lock button, and will give you random choices of Pokemon based on rarity. You can see the chances of each rarity in the shop based on this bar here. The chances of better rarities increases as you level up. Now what's a level up, you asked? Oh, you didn't? I don't care. A level up is how you increase the capacity of your team, as seen here. You gain 2 experience points every battle, no matter if you win or lose. But you can also invest 4 coins into it manually with this button right here. These 4 coins convert straight to 4 experience, being better for it, but obviously costing you. You can evolve the Pokemon you purchase by buying 3 of the same Pokemon, so keep that in mind when you level up, because every level up messes with the rarity chances. While it does raise the higher rarity Pokemon's chances, it lowers the lower rarity Pokemon. So if you want to evolve those lower rarity Pokemon, you better do it as soon as you can. Now, as for the stats of your Pokemon, I don't know this that much. So I'm just going to let past me explain it to you. So if we look at these guys' stats, you can see this is their health. This is their PP, which is basically how much they have to use their abilities. This is their defense against either abilities or just normal attacks. This is how much damage they do with a normal attack, or if they're using a ranged, how much they take, basically. This is their speed of attack. This is their range. This is like the most important thing you want to look at because it'll be where you want to place them on the board. And over here is their crit damage and crit chance. So these are all things you want to keep in mind. You also want to know that these stars represent how many evolutions they have total that you can get. That's pretty boring. As for the abilities, they're unique to each kind of Pokemon, and I highly recommend you pay attention to them and experiment with them to learn how they work for yourself. Now when it comes to the typing of your Pokemon, this is probably the most important thing to know in the game, just like in normal Pokemon. Types don't work exactly like you would expect. Instead, they add to your team's synergy. Synergies are abilities given to either your team or that specific type of Pokemon when you have enough of that type on your team. You can tell exactly how much you need for every buff and what the buffs do by simply hovering over it. Each synergy works different, and they do change with updates, so I definitely won't be going over most of them, if any at all. I recommend you try them all, as some are better than others, but they can all be fun to play. I always try to build my team with 2 main synergies and try to keep Pokemon that have like both of them on it. But it's completely up to you how you build your team. That's just what I do. Now during the actual gameplay, you fight it out every round and are sometimes offered items. These are what we call the carousel rounds. On occasion, they'll also just randomly give you items. I don't really know why that happens, but yeah, it does. Now much like Synergies, items have a large variety of uses and are held by your Pokemon. Not all items are made equal, and Pokemon can only hold up to 3 items each, and only 1 of each item, so no 2 max revives or any of those shenanigans. Now you can mix these items to make stronger items, such as that max revive. So go ahead and experiment with them and find the ones that you think work best for your team. If it wasn't clear, I personally love max revive, it's really good. That said, I think the only thing we haven't covered that's too important is unique picks. At stage 10 and 20, you get to choose a unique Pokemon and then a legendary Pokemon. The unique on level 10 and the legendary at 20. Almost all of these Pokemon do not evolve, but there are some exceptions to that, including Pokemon whose evolutions unlock with a certain item placed on them, similar to an Eevee. Anyway, I think that's everything. Do know though, this took me a whole night to put together, so please drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. It really does mean the world. Anyways guys, as always, remember,
everything changes.